Okay, here we go. This is the before. I'll walk you through the changes. Some stuff we're not exactly sure yet what we're going to do, but at least the actual new cabinetry has been ordered and it's now time to start ripping it out. So real quick, we're going to keep this area pretty much the same. We'll put some drawers in here. Up here, all these uppers come out. This toaster oven will be mounted in the center here somehow with glass doors above it. We'll have some kind of area over here to tuck everything away, and then this cabinet will change. It'll become more functional. Be a lazy Susan in there. My plan is to get the fridge to go backwards a little bit more. I think I can cut the wall out and make that work, but we'll see. Above the fridge will be glass, and they'll come all the way out to match the front of the fridge.
And because I know you're just dying to see it, this is how that wall actually turned out. So we got pretty close, right? We kind of felt our way through it. It was a work in progress literally through the whole thing, but the vision came to be.
Same appliances over here. This will all pretty much be the same. Glass above the microwave to match the future glass above the toaster oven. And then this will pretty much stay the same.
So same layout, but with drawers and doors laid out differently in the same space. Came out very, very nice. Same appliances, and you can see we've added a pot filler. I'll show you in the video here how we ran that line over. And of course it's now granite. I mean, it's different in every way, right? But it is the same layout, and we're just thrilled with the result.
The center island comes out, and we're going to put a sink right here. I'll have to cut the floor to get water and drain over. I've already got power in the center island, so we're pretty good with that.
And here you can see I duplicated pretty much the same outlets. I did add 2 outlets in the backsplash there. Of course, the backsplash is travertine. All of that I did myself. And you can see how the sink turned out, and the dark black countertop there. And then, of course, the drawers are, even though the center island is roughly in the same place, the drawers and doors are completely different.
This will change. There'll be cabinets on this side as well, so we'll pick up quite a bit of storage for things that we don't use very often. And then this bar area will change. We're going to put a bar fridge and a mini glass fridge and a wine cooler in that order, going right to left. And then on the top, we'll do uppers that are glass, double tall, or tall uppers that are glass. And then on the left there will be another wine rack. We're gonna cap that sink off and not use that sink.
And here's how this turned out. You can see we never used the sink anyway. It just gave us a little bit more counter space. We've got the 2 wine racks in there. The second wine rack was actually an afterthought. I thought that I only wanted a wine rack on the bottom, but we ended up doing 2 of them. And then those wine fridge and regular refrigerator, we could only get them in stainless. And we ended up replacing all of the appliances a couple years down the road with stainless. So everything matched eventually. But here's how this area turned out. Pretty good, I think.
Over here, if you catch my other video, my outside kitchen video, we're going to duplicate that granite in here around the perimeter. So the whole perimeter will be that brown granite. And then on the inside here, we haven't picked the granite out yet, but it'll be more of a black or much, much darker granite on the inside. So I've never done this before. I'm pretty excited to give it a try, slightly nervous, but stay tuned. We'll do it together. First order of business was to cap off the plumbing. So hot, cold, and drain capped off in both, so these cabinets can just be pulled right out. And now I need to deal with that electrical and the electrical in the center island. Actually, first I need to clean all that crap off of there. But off to Home Depot to get some new saw blades, battery, and what else do I need? Oh, some visqueen to try to control the dust into this area. So off to Home Depot we go.
I don't really have any great insight to share on how to do this. Just start cutting, I guess. I wish I had more to offer. I shut the power off. I ended up just cutting right through the electrical wires. Didn't matter. The thing just came apart. You cut it in enough small pieces and it comes apart. The floor jack for the car was very handy in popping it off the ground. I ended up using the floor jack on the rest of the cabinets also, and then just slowly pieced it apart. I finally did get a little help later on in the project, but most of this I just did on my own.
Okay, so the center island is gone, and now is the job of emptying these cabinets. We really haven't done much of that. So I think I'll probably start on this side tomorrow and tear all of this out. Center island came out easy, pretty much, and I really did that first to see just how difficult this is going to be. So I'll start in on this tomorrow. I'll probably do the bar, and then I'll save this for last. Unfortunately, we did disconnect the water, so we have no water or ice in here, but we do have, outside. We can use the outside area. And then the last thing I'll do is cut this trench right through over to the wall. We're also going to put a pot filler in, so we'll cut the wall and run a cold water supply over to above the stove. So at least the work has begun. A little bit more work than I thought, but saving a ton of money ripping this out myself. All right, stay tuned. We have shit piled up all over the place. This table, this one's empty, but it's about to get piled up with all of this shit around the corner. This table is piled up. Where I moved the center island, that is now where the doors are because the dumpster didn't show up, so I don't want to put anything outside yet. These are almost empty. I pulled the stove out to see if that's going to be a big deal, which it is not. I took a cabinet down just to see, that it's not that big a deal. We've still got to empty all of that, and this is all empty. All that crap is going to go on that table, and the bottoms are empty for the most part. And then the bar, we got to deal with that. This was really more work than I anticipated, but it'll be nice when it's done. All right, next up is these uppers. We're gonna drop them down. I did one over here as a test, and the only thing that holds them in is the 2 screws on top. I undid those screws, and when it's empty, the caulking's enough to keep it in place, but as soon as I smacked it with a hammer, it came down pretty easy. So I'm assuming that the same is going to happen over here, so I'm leaving this lower unit in place to catch it. We'll see how it goes. There's the screws up on top. I am going to cut all the caulking with a razor, try to prevent the drywall from peeling, and we'll see how it goes. Now we're cooking with gas.
See, it's not gonna work, you're just gonna hit it.
Doesn't matter. Just All right, everything's gutted. Gone. Gone are the cabinets. Got rid of the bar area. It's all gone. I'm going to cut the back of that wall out like this. Gonna get rid of those studs. And I'll put a header up here. I'll move the electric over to this wall. I'll move that switch over to probably this wall. And then, so the switch will be, probably right here. And then that way, I'll move the water over also to this wall. And that way I'll be able to get the fridge back about 3 more inches. It's just worth the effort now that the wall is apart. And then that drywall will have no support in that area, but I think it'll be okay. All these cabinets are gone. Had to put a table up just to put stuff on. Saved the sink just in case somebody wants it. That's pretty new disposal. There's the microwave, the dishwasher, which is still full of dishes, and the stove. That's it. Ready for cutting the floor. So I gotta cut the foundation from there to there. That'll be tomorrow's project. Okay, this was ridiculous. Oh my God. Woo, let's take a look. So I'm gonna flip it. Okay, so this was a big mess, but the Visclean worked because everything else is relatively clean except this area here. So the water really cuts down on the dust. And aside from, being soaking wet, standing in a puddle of water using an electric saw, aside from all that, it went pretty well. Really? No. Out. Out. And so anyway, what I'm going to do next is clean this up and then try to pry out some of these. Hey, stop it. And try to pry out some of these blocks. Hopefully that'll go well. That there is the amount of concrete that came out of there. So I had to cut it again because I needed really a straight line back to that drain. So came out pretty good. There's the, I found the pipe right there. Well, it's covered in mud, but there it is, right there. So there's the drain. Can find it in the wall here. I'm gonna have to hammer that out because it's gonna be way easier to connect to this drain up and down than try to cut into that one. So that'll be next. But right now, I need a bath. Right, Bella? What the hell? So the holes, the slab's cut, and there's the pipe that we need to get to, but it's all concrete. So if you look there, that's concrete, and I need to get into there. So what I'm gonna have to do is, I've tried to cut it with a couple different saws. Nothing's really working. So I'm going to drill it. I'm just gonna drill a bunch of holes until I can chop it up with a hammer. So that better be the best sink ever. So that's the work here. It was poured in the stem wall. You can see this is an exterior wall here. So less than ideal, but it's slowly coming by drilling it and then chipping it with a hammer. So almost done. Well, call me Indiana Jones, got it out. Like an archaeological dig right there. Managed not to break that pipe, which is always nice. That's the pipe that goes over to the refrigerator for the water supply. But anyway, I think what we'll do is put probably a 45 in there to bring it up into the wall a little deeper. And then right as it comes up into the second 45, we'll tee in the drain for the new sink. But right now I need to trench this out. So that's what's next. Whew, okay, that was quite a job. With the right tools, I am confident I would be able to break out of prison. Cut that pipe down in the ground. What we'll do is put probably a Y on there and get it up, maybe 245s to get it up into the wall, and then right somewhere on the vertical tie in for the drain back here. But that sucker was in solid concrete. That is, they poured concrete around the elbow. What a nightmare. And I managed not to bust that, which is shocking. That's the cold water for the fridge. Right over there, right there. Anyway, on to trenching. Okay, today we got this done. All the plumbing's in. I need to foam in around here and foam this in. I'm also going to tap into the cold water line that goes over to the fridge and put a water filter under the sink here. We've got the line run over for the pot filler, which I'm just going to leave until we figure out where it needs to go. I cut open the wall here so that we can put a back brace on that pot filler fitting, which is just temporarily screwed there so I don't lose it. But anyway, I'm going to put the dirt back in the hole after I foam around the pipes, and then I can't concrete it until it's until I chip up the tile. I got this all removed, patched the holes. That's where an outlet used to be. I'm going to put this electrical outlet right in the side there. And then I think I'm going to put some 1/2-inch furring strips and then a 1/4-inch plywood to cover up the electrical wire that is actually the supply for the center island. And what are you doing? And it'll make it look at least a little better, and I'll lose about 1 inch. There's the cold water supply for the ice maker, so that's rerouted. Move this switch over to here. It was here, so I got to patch this side of the wall. Capped this stuff, and started to patch the wall. I'm going to leave this because I think I have to open up this wall in order to get the wine rack in there. I don't think that there's enough clearance, but we'll see. Next up, I need to cut the vent for behind the wine fridge and the bar fridge, and cut the vent for behind the fridge, and chip everything up and get everything out of here. So when the plumbers were here yesterday, I forgot to have them put in a filter for the ice maker. I want an extra big filter over here because that's really the only water we use for everything that we drink. So I tapped into their lines, and here we've got the cold line that comes across. Here it goes right down and over to the center island, and then keep going right here. It tees down and goes over and up and out. This nipple here that will go into an ice maker, we'll put a stop on there, and then it'll come around and back in here and go down underground and come out right over there for the ice maker. And then this pipe continues on and up and tees into the fixture for the sink, and then goes through the wall and up for the pot filler over the stove. And then the hot is much simpler. Here's the hot for the sink here at the kitchen counter, and then it goes down and under and comes up for the hot in the center island. So that is pretty much a done deal. Kind of a mess, but nothing's leaking, and it's ready to be foamed in. Today's progress is I got the dirt back in here, started chipping tile. I'm gonna run a different machine because that might kill me. And I've just foamed all this in and then cut the foam flush with the wall. So that's, cabinets can go right over that. And then I've got the plumbing moved over, the electrical run up, some furring strips in here, and this is ready for 1/4-inch plywood to just go over it, and there'll be about a 1-inch pocket that'll hide the plumbing and that not to code electrical wire. But what I did was I put a piece of this aluminum angle iron behind it, so in case anybody put a nail through the wall, either where the water is or the electric, it's not going to hit it. And once it's covered up with plywood, nobody's gonna know what's in there. There's nothing that's not safe. It's just not ideal. And then I cut the vent for the ace for the thing, which is right here. So that vent will go in like this, right here, and that'll help the air conditioner or the refrigerator. That'll help the refrigerator breathe. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So All right, it's ready for cabinets. We got the trench filled in with concrete. I put this so the dogs won't walk on the wet concrete, but everything is chipped up. Of course, cabinets removed. I need to put, actually, that's one of the pieces of plywood that'll go there. So that'll get all blocked up with plywood. And it is pretty good amount of work for since Tuesday. Anyway, stay tuned.
So all of that work was completed in just a few days because we had to get it done in order to be ready for the cabinets to come in. I'm hoping that if you've stayed with me this long, you'll subscribe and you'll want to see the next video, which is the actual construction of the new kitchen. This is that side wall. You can see how we completely redesigned that cabinet next to this refrigerator, and then we did the bump out that I talked about in the video for the toaster oven area. I did all the backsplash. I'll show you that. All of the flooring, I'm going to give you a close-up of that in a minute. And we really liked the way those glass doors ended up. There's only about 4 of them, but they really kind of add a visual element to the kitchen. In this next picture here, you've got the floor, which was a travertine look porcelain tile, so very, very hard, very durable, and it's a 3 pattern random lay, and it did require quite a bit of layout, and you really do have to pay attention to where the grain goes and whatnot. Here is a picture of the back of the center island looking into that back room. And again, you can see that bump out under the toaster oven. And here you can also see the difference between the Galaxy granite, which we put all the way around the perimeter, and the black granite that we put in the center island. The contrast really came out amazing on that. What do I have here coming up? Oh, this next picture is another look of the floor, but we ended up finding these bar stools. We needed a really skinny bar stool to fit because the overhang really wasn't ideal. And also in this picture, you can see the cabinets up under where your knees are. That just added a tremendous amount of storage space. Here again, you can see the cabinets go all the way around where your knees would be when you're sitting. Those 3 little shelves in the center island, we decided to leave that open. Those shelves are made of travertine. I cut them myself, and they're actually glued in with a jig. I'll show you in the next video how I did that. I also did the same type of shelves up around the sink. You'll get a picture of that here in a minute. So here's the area around the appliances. We left the same black appliances that we had. They were in great shape, and we really like the black finish. And you can see where the pot filler ended up right over the stove there. That is kind of a funny luxury, but it is very convenient to fill a big pot of water if you're cooking spaghetti or something like that. I'll show you up under the sink as well where we put that filter in, and then I'll also give you a close-up of the pan rack over the sink here. So on the right, you can see those little shelves that I put in. They came out really nice. And that pan rack I custom bent in order to fit there. And it just adds to the whole utility end of the kitchen. Really great space for all that. These shelves are actually stone travertine. I cut a groove in them and used a little biscuit to join them to the cabinet, glued them in place, and they're in there very, very well. I was really surprised how well they adhered. And then here under the sink is that filter that you saw me plumb in. That filter filters the water that goes over to the fridge. It produces ice, and it's a great filter. It's a 3-stage filter. The water tastes perfect, and it's really easy to service up under there. So in this shot here, you can see the choice of the glass over the microwave, and then also the glass over the refrigerator. The space just came out amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And once again, one more pitch for the subscription. I will post the actual construction of this kitchen in about a week, and I am working on an outdoor kitchen in my new house, actually, that I'll also post in the same way here. So if you like these kind of videos, please subscribe. It supports the channel, and I really do appreciate it. See ya.